Welcome back. Today we get to talk about the GAPS diet introduction phase, stage 6. This is the last stage of the GAPS introduction diet, so it's a huge accomplishment, and I am going to go over which foods to add in this stage and how to do that properly. Hello lovely parents, this is your dietitian and CGP Pooja, and welcome back to my corner of the healing world. So if you have made it this far, congratulations, you have done so well. This is an exciting stage in that we get to add in more sweeter things. Basically everything that we are adding in is a sweeter food, which you have largely gone without for the most part of the GAPS introduction diet. So it's pretty exciting, and this is the last stage of the introduction diet before you go on to the full GAPS diet too. So that will be the next thing that we will be probably talking about, is how to transition into the full GAPS diet. So the very first food that you get to add in this stage is peeled raw apple. So you had cooked apples in your kids' diet so far, which makes them a little bit more easy to digest than raw ones. Raw fruit is really nice to have too, and it has a lot of good benefits as well. So make sure that the apples are nice and ripened enough to enjoy. You don't want your kids to be eating underripe one. That way these starches will be more broken down naturally in the fruit and a bit easier to digest as always. Start with a very small amount the first day and see how your kid's body does with it, and then if it seems to be going okay, gradually increase, and then after your kids are doing well with a good amount of raw apple, you can go ahead and let them try different fruits that are allowed on the GAPS diet. Make sure that they are all very ripe. With all the different foods, for example with bananas, you want them to have lots of spots on the skin. That just means that the sugars are more broken down so that your kid's body can have an easier time digesting them, and they are not as starchy that way. A very small amount of honey is allowed in the beginning stages of the GAPS introduction diet. You can let your kids have that in the teas like ginger teas, chamomile teas, etc. And now at this stage you get to gradually increase that amount of honey in your kids' diet, so they can have it in different dessert items as a topping, or pancakes and muffins, things like that. The last thing that you get to do is to add some sweet baked goods. So there are some GAPS legal cakes and muffins and different dessert items like that. They are sweetened with honey or dried fruits. You get to add them one after one and slowly increase those, okay? But as you are adding the different sweeter foods, the dessert items, baked goods and things like that, just watch and make sure that your kid's body is doing okay with that, and that it's tolerating everything well the entire time that they are on the GAPS diet, also the full GAPS diet included. You will want to make sure that you not to go overboard with sweet foods and desserts and things like that the kids want to have. For the most part, everything they are eating be savory. That will help keep that balance of the friendly bacteria under control. So it's good to enjoy some fruit and some different GAPS legal baked items once in a while, but just make sure to not go overboard, and that way you will keep everything in a good healthy balance. Alright, so the next video in this little series will be transitioning from the introduction diet onto the full GAPS diet. So I am going to go through that. Just remember that the time spent on these different stages is very individual. Sometimes different stages will go faster or slower for different kids. It's just very individual, and you have to just really listen to their body and go with that. The biggest clues are how their digestion is doing. If they have abdominal pain and diarrhea or constipation, you want to make sure that you don't move on through each stages with them until those things are starting to go away. As you go through the stages too, you may find that for your kid personally, some foods have to wait longer than others. So it might happen that you have completed all one stage and then one food just isn't doing well. If that happens, then just save that food for much later and go on to the next stage. And then much later you can try introducing it again for your kids and see how it goes. Then make sure to continue on with that meat stock in soups and in cups of meat stock in between meals as well. That's going to provide those building blocks for continuing the rebuild that lining of your kids' intestine. So if you are new, then I wanted to mention again that I have a free printable GAPS diet recipe ebook. It goes over everything that you want to make sure to have in your kitchen handy when you do the GAPS diet. Just makes it really easy to make sure that you are set and ready to go. I will put a link below where you can grab that in the description box. Just go ahead and leave me a comment below and let me know how things are going for you and your kid and how you are feeling, how the kids are feeling, and if you are helping somebody else through the GAPS diet, how that's going. I have lots more GAPS diet videos upcoming, more recipes and different things, more information on different topics. If you have any questions, let me know in a comment section below. Let me know if you have ideas for more video topics that you would like me to cover as well. So if you like this video and found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. That helps more people to find it. Consider sharing it with anybody else that you think might find it interesting or helpful. And if you are new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I make new videos every week on how beneficial GAPS diet could be for autistic kids with traditional nutritional health approach and easy, sustainable, healthy living. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.